addressed.
Nearly half of Ireland's rivers and lakes, and almost 2/3 of our estuaries, are polluted, making them far less able to sustain healthy ecosystems. The most obvious sign of pollution is a fish kill. A sudden change in water quality is lethal for wildlife, and often the results are felt for years as ecosystems struggle to recover. But this kind of pollution is just one type that affects our water bodies. Another, more insidious type is diffuse pollution. That's caused by a variety of activities within a river catchment, with no specific point of discharge. Inland Fisheries Ireland investigates both types and have been successful at prosecuting many who've caused point source pollution. And I'm here on a tributary of the Barrow as they test the river's water quality.
Hi Lynda.
Hi Duncan.
Good to see you.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you, and a lovely day.
Lovely day.
Very nice place to meet. And what's going on?
Well, we're with Inland Fisheries Ireland. We're here on the River Barrow. This is the Treog tributary, which joins the River Barrow here. We're right at the confluence here at the moment. We do numerous inspections every year, and that's why we're here today, is to do a habitat inspection. So we're out with Cormac. He is looking at the water quality itself using a multimeter, and that measures several different parameters.
If we look at the water quality now of this river, you know, the Barrow, and then of course the Treog, what is the condition of what's the water quality now here?
The Treog has an ecological status of poor currently at the moment.
Which is bad, isn't it?
Yes, it would be the lowest. There's high, good, moderate, poor and bad, so it's very low down. Upstream here on the River Barrow, there's a status of moderate. So we need to reach good or high status by 2027.
How important is this sort of proactive work that you're doing here?
We have very much a reactive role.
What do you mean reactive?
So when we receive a report in through our hotline,
A complaint,
a report of a pipe going into the river, what we call point source pollution, we would go out and we would investigate that. We're low in resources in terms of we can't have every river covered and somebody on it all day, every day. So we really benefit from the reports that come in through our confidential hotline. We will go out, we will take our samples, we'll gather our evidence, and we would have an enforcement role around this. And we would very often take prosecutions and go the whole way to court. But it's difficult to get to everything, and we only have 3 environmental officers in the whole of the southeastern River Basin District.
And how big is that catchment?
Well, we have the Barrow, the Nore, the Suir and the Slaney.
That's
and
huge.
All the tributaries that flow into them.
If you take all of your catchment, which is the biggest contributor to the problem? Which sector?
Well, the EPA have highlighted that agriculture is the number one significant pressure on water quality, followed by hydromorphology, forestry and urban wastewater. In rural catchments, 87% of the source of nitrogen comes from agriculture.
And is that mostly diffuse sources?
Yes, a lot of it is diffuse. And the thing about diffuse pollution is it has a cumulative effect down through the catchment. So it's much more difficult to pinpoint where exactly it's coming from. The loading of nitrogen is high in the River Barrow and the losses into the river. And this is having an effect on the estuaries as well, where we're seeing more algal blooms in the estuaries because of the increased nutrients in the water.
Is it that there's over-intensification of our farmland with cattle?
It's a combination of intensification with the soil type we have here in the southeast. In the southeast we have predominantly free-draining soil. So when nitrogen is applied to agricultural land and there's intensification of farming and the two are mixed together, with the intensification and the free-draining soils, it increases the loss of nitrogen into the water and into the water courses.
It appears to me that the fundamental problem is that we have far too many cattle on our land.
Intensification is an issue because obviously if there's more animals on a farm, there's more grass to be grown to feed the animals, so therefore more fertilisers needed to grow the grass. And then there's obviously waste from animals, whether it's beef or dairy. So intensification is an issue, and in here in the southeast, it's the combination of the intensification with the free draining soils that are causing the loss of nitrogen into the water.
If the diffuse pollution from agriculture, dispersed over large areas, is the primary cause of the recent decline in many of our water bodies, what can be done about it?